Holocaust and the Final Solution. On the 30th of January 1933, Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. With almost immediate effect, the anti-Jewish objectives of the Nazi Party were tabled and passed into law. These were later called the Nuremberg Laws. In 1934, Hitler took the position of Führer when von Hindenburg died. By 1935, Jews were no longer allowed to marry non-Jews, and German citizenship was disallowed to all Jews, or children and grandchildren of Jews. By March 1938, when Germany marched on Austria, Jews were no longer allowed to hold professional jobs like teaching and dentistry. Jewish doctors were only allowed to treat Jewish patients, and Jews no longer qualified for national health care or tax deductions of any kind. That same year, Jews were forced to declare all their property and earnings, and were prohibited from trading or practicing law. In November 1938, Hitler's SS troops initiated a raid one night on all Jewish businesses and synagogues. Many Jews were gravely injured, and there was extensive property damage. This came to be known as Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass. When the Allies declared war on Germany in 1939, Jews in Germany, Austria, Poland, and Czechoslovakia were moved to separate living areas, or ghettos. Polish Jews were forced to wear a yellow Star of David on their chests to show that they were Jews, and forced labor was mandated for all Jews between the ages of 14 and 60 years. That same year, Hitler tasked Hermann Göring with solving the Jewish problem. In the early 1940s, as the war intensified, Jews were moved to various concentration camps. The conditions were extremely poor, and men, women, and children were given very little food and forced to do hard labor every day. At this stage, the Nazi Party initiated the Final Solution, which was the term they used for the final extermination of all Jews in Europe. To this end, they set up gas chambers at certain strategic points in Germany, Austria, and Poland. The most infamous of these was the concentration camp in Auschwitz, Poland. In line with the Final Solution, thousands of Jewish families were put onto trains and either shot through holes in the closed doors or taken to concentration camps and gassed to death in the chambers. The bodies were either incinerated or thrown into mass graves. In some instances, the SS soldiers would use mobile gas trucks and gas Jewish victims after forcing them into the back of the trucks and locking the doors. By the end of the Second World War, when Hitler was finally defeated by the Allies in 1945, 11 million people had been murdered, of which 6 million were Jews. In the aftermath of the war, many of these atrocities were revealed in the Nuremberg trials.
Need more help? Subscribe to our channel or dive into our expert textbooks and get that learning edge.